don't know about you guys, but Jett's last qualifying lap at Anaheim 2 was pretty much picture perfect. I'm not sure I've really ever seen anything like that before. So I wanted to watch it together. Yeah? All right, let's do it. Yeah, so right here. Before we start, I just want to show how close the top three are. That's pretty much how it's been these first 3 rounds until this lap. So I'm just going to press play. We're going to watch it together, and then I'll go over individual things afterwards, even though there's really not much to go over, just because it's literally perfect. I don't get it. All right, here he comes. Oh, first off, this is ridiculous how he can get traction coming out of that corner to do the quad over. Obviously, whatever is going on with the Honda forward drive that everybody's talking about doesn't seem to be a problem in qualifying here. That little side-to-side coming out of the whoops, it's like one of 2 tiny mistakes I've seen. Already half a second up after just 3 sections. Insane. We don't get to see this section, which whatever, they're all doing the same thing. Stupid corner speed. That's insane. Scrubs a triple, hugs this one inside, misses all the ruts, gets the drive out of the corner like he's supposed to, just barely clips these jumps, which I guess you can say is a mistake, but I don't think it really is. Gets the drive to do that triple perfect. Super slick inside, but doesn't seem to be a problem. And then he misses that inside rut a little bit, but maybe he wasn't going for it. And then he's 0.8 of a second up. Almost a second faster than these guys, and you can tell he's stoked because he gives a little, yes! I will say, this year compared to last year, whenever we watched Jett last year, it seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like he wasn't ever pushing as hard as he could. It always just seemed like things came super easy to him and that nobody was even close to his level. This year, first 2 rounds, everybody was pretty close to him. So he was really pushing, something we don't really see from him. And then here, obviously, he's super close to everybody, so he has to push super hard. And then we're now seeing him push super hard and put in ridiculous laps. Say what you want about Jett. It's crazy seeing him do this. So, okay, one thing I want to say, that this jump right here, the quad over, I think I remember hearing him say that he figured out he could do it because of a mistake. And I remember watching this at some point. I don't really feel like going and finding it for you guys, sorry. But he was trying to triple on, and he did like almost get his front wheel over, which is not a good thing. It was like his front wheel landed right at the end, and he almost didn't get a big drive off of it. So he came up a little bit short, but I think that showed him like, hey, it's really not that hard to triple onto this thing. So next lap, I'm just going to hit this as fast as I can out of the corner and seat bounce it, and I think I can quad over it. And guess what? He did. And I don't know why nobody else tried it. I mean, it's huge. I get it. You need such a perfect drive coming out of that corner every single time that you do it. It's like, I thought tripling on was scary. Because if you got, especially when the rain started, if you got a little bit of wheel spin coming out of there and trying to do that thing, you got so much speed and your seat bouncing it so hard, you can endo pretty easily. If you're expecting wheel spin and then all of a sudden you don't and you're hitting it faster, you can get your front wheel over and endo. You can come up short with wheel spin. I don't know. This jump was super sketchy to me, and I'm glad nobody wadded themselves because I thought for sure it was going to happen. So when they landed on the step-on and stepped off, this jump that Jett is now jumping over is the tallest one in the rhythm section. So when they were going triple on, off, triple into the corner, it was like they were going really high. And they were losing all of that forward momentum that they had gotten by doing the triple on, off. A lot of that forward momentum is lost by going up. Jett is now jumping over it. So all that momentum that's forward is still going forward because it's from a small jump, if that makes sense. And he triple singles in. it is just the difference between Eli and Jett going through the whoops is always such like a stark contrast, even though they both go so fast through them. It's like, look at this absolutely perfect body positioning, and he's literally just hitting just the very top on both wheels, not skipping a whoop, nothing. You watch Eli go through it, he's like leaning off the back, he's kind of an arched back, and seems like the back end's squatting down, which honestly I think is better for, like, I don't want to say consistency, but not wadding yourself. Because it seems like Eli never gets side to side too much in the whoops. He's always, it's like a kind of driving like this through him, where everybody else is just trying to stay on the top. And if you get back end kicked out, it seems like it's, I don't want to actually, no, that's not the right thing. It's not that if it gets kicked out, it seems like it gets kicked out easier from the cups that form on the top of it, where Eli, I don't know, you never really see him get kicked side to side ever. He just powers through them, even though the back seems to be squatted more than everybody else. But when you do it like this, it's pretty much picture perfect, and I don't think there's a faster way to do it. Just insane. And same thing with this. He gets a little bit side to side at the very end, but no big deal. And then these guys carrying so much speed over this wall, or not wall jump, over under. It's so gnarly. They scrub it. That's sick. Whatever. So Jett is already on the gas right here in the corner. You can see that everybody kind of just where the top of this berm is kind of blown out. That seems to be where everybody's getting onto the gas. And he is, I don't know if he's braking harder. I don't know if it's the same amount of speed going into the corner, but he's getting onto the gas, seems like earlier than everybody, and he's able to have a lower line in the corner because of it. And where does he actually come out at? Oh no, I guess that it is actually the same as everybody else. It just seems like where, oh, come on. I'm not very good at this. It just, this little right here makes it seem to me like everybody gets on the gas right there. Jett got on the gas right there. This could be from everybody that's not named Eli, Chase, or Jett. I'm sure they were getting on the gas at the same time, but just the drive coming out of this corner is so gnarly. Like I was saying earlier on the broadcast, I don't know why they talk about the drive coming out of the corners with this bike, because it seems fine to me. I'm not seeing what they're seeing. Maybe I just don't have the eye that they do. But the drive coming out of the corner, so gnarly, scrubs the triple. And then obviously these are the main lines. Granted, again, I didn't watch Eli or Chase enough to see what their line was, but Jett squares up, stays to the inside of these ruts, stays on that more fluffy stuff. Maybe that helps him get a better drive. I don't know. But it keeps him out of the ruts, which I think is always a good option. If you can stay out of ruts, it seems like you'll go faster. I don't know. Triple over. This rhythm, everybody's the same. I don't think he's losing or gaining time. He was clipping some of the tops of the jumps, like I said before, but I don't think you lose much with that. Again, he's staying lower than all these ruts. It's like the amount that he's able to pivot the bike in the corners is a lot, while keeping so much speed into the corner and through the corner. Where it's like, in my mind, if I was to try to square up and stay inside of those ruts, I'm going to have to go way slower into the corner than I would if I was going to use these ruts. But Jett's so elite, I don't think it matters for him. He can do whatever he wants, and it's going to work. So squares up, stays inside of the ruts again. Oh, no, he doesn't. He actually uses the inside rut. Just disregard everything I said. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay. This jump scared me too, because it seemed like that is such a shiny spot right at the bottom. Just gnarly wheel spin again, like Deegan did. If you get wheel spin, you're expecting your bike to have way more forward drive than it ends up having, when your bike has a lot of forward drive, yeah, they're seat bouncing it, but they still are having more forward momentum with their body also, even though they're seat bouncing it. Seat bounce, you're not necessarily leaning back. You still have to lean forward because the bike's driving forward. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you get wheel spin and your body goes forward and your bike's not going as far forward as you're expecting it to, that's when the bike rotates and you get an endo. Almost like what Deegan did, but he didn't obviously crash. This section freaked me out, but obviously the forward momentum of Jett's bike is just fine. And then his like bike manipulation in the air, it's not even a scrub. It's just like a little bit of a sideways thing just to kind of get his bike on the ground a little earlier. I don't know. It's sick. That goes to the inside. Obviously, some low traction right there. But again, bike seems to work just fine. Zero problems there. And then it seems to me like, dude, I suck at this. Seems to me like he wants to hit this line, but he ends up hitting this line. And it definitely didn't slow him down at all. He just kind of went over it and put in. That was pretty much a perfect lap. I don't know if I've ever seen a lap better than that. I don't even have much to say because it's like literally so picture perfect. I can't even really explain to you why. It just is. That's the thing. It just is. There's like no explanation of why. It's just if you want to see picture perfect body positioning, bike control, everything, just look at that lap. I don't feel like anybody, maybe I'm not on social media enough or YouTube enough. Maybe people have talked about it, but I don't see people saying just how amazing of a lap this was. And I felt like it deserved its own video because it was that amazing. I mean, we got to think, like I said, these guys have been within a tenth of a second of each other those first two rounds. And leading up to this lap, again, they were within a tenth of a second of each other. And it seems like Sexton and Tomac have raised their level to Jett. Tomac seems like he's in his prime. Doesn't seem like he's gone any faster than this before in his life. I'm sure he has. Looks like he's in his prime to me. And Jett went out there and went almost a second faster. I would think that this lap is more of a statement than actually winning the race. Because the race itself, rain, wet, so many more variables than this. It's like Jett just told everybody, like, yeah, I'm still the fastest guy. I'm the defending champ for a reason. And that reason is because I just am probably the fastest rider that's ever lived. Sure seems like it. I don't know. I just, like I said, felt like this deserved its own video because that is the most amazing lap I think I've ever seen in my life. There's nothing crazy fancy about it. It didn't look anything special. It just was perfect. And that's why it's special. If you guys think there's been a better lap ever put down in Supercross, you let me know. Because I don't know if there has been. All right. Cool. Bye.